Hey guys, tonight we're pulling an all-nighter on the graveyard shift, riding the thin blue line between what's real and what the fog wants you to believe. The wipers on my cruiser slap a slow, hypnotic rhythm against the windshield, pushing silver sheets of rain into the gutters of Maple and Ninth. Dashboard glow paints everything the color of old nicotine. The citation book on the passenger seat, the half-eaten burrito sweating in its foil, the tiny brass nameplate that reads Officer J. Reed. Dispatch is quiet except for the low hum of the heater and that faint static that never quite leaves Channel 3, like a breath held too long. Outside, the street lamps flicker in Morse code nobody taught me to read. You probably won't make it to dawn after this one. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your city and the exact time you're listening in the comments. I read every single one, while I'm stuck at red lights that refuse to change. Now, dim the lights, maybe crack open a window for that midnight fog, and let's hit the streets together. The call comes in at 047, code 10 to 44, welfare check, 412 Oak Ridge Apartments, Unit 2B. Caller reports, crying that won't stop. Sounds like a child, but nobody's lived there since the fire. I know the building. Everyone on night shift does. Back in '98, a kid named Timothy Hale vanished from that exact unit after his mother left the stove on. They found her body, but never him. Case files still open, yellowed at the edges, sitting in the precinct basement like it's waiting for permission to close itself. Procedure says I treat it like any other noise complaint. Knock, assess, clear. Easy. Except the rain smells like wet pennies tonight, and the radio keeps clicking even when nobody's keying the mic. I nose the cruiser against the curb. The complex squats under a broken sign. Oak Ridge in half-lit neon, the A and the K long dead. My boots crunch on gravel that sounds too loud, like I'm stepping on frozen bones. Flashlight beam slices the hallway. Paint peels in long curls, revealing decades of institutional green beneath. Mailbox 2B is stuffed with circulars addressed to resident, and one envelope postmarked 1987. The ink bled into watercolor ghosts. I thumb the radio. Dispatch, 3 Adam, 12 on scene, commencing welfare check. Static answers, then a whisper so soft I almost miss it. Officer, hurry. The voice is small, cracked, the pitch of a scared 8-year-old. My skin tightens. I've got no partner tonight. Budget cuts, and the hallway smells like burnt plastic and something sweeter, like melted birthday candles. Stairs creak under regulation weight. Second floor landing. A single bulb swings, throwing my shadow long and thin, then short and fat, like it's breathing. Door 2B hangs open 3 inches, chain lock dangling like a snapped tendon. Inside, darkness pools thick enough to chew. I push the door with 2 fingers. Hinges sigh like they've been holding that breath since the fire. The apartment is a museum exhibit somebody forgot to close. Scorched wallpaper curling away from the studs. A child's plastic tricycle melted into the carpet. One will still perfect. My flashlight finds the kitchen counter. There, a portable cassette recorder, the kind we used for statements before digital. The play button is depressed, tape spinning slow. I didn't touch it. From the tiny speaker leaks the same crying the caller reported, thin and wet, looping every 12 seconds. I lean in. Between sobs, words surface. Mommy said don't open the door for strangers, but you have a badge. My pulse taps against my throat. I key the radio again. Dispatch, need backup at. The crying stops mid-wail. Silence rushes in so hard my ears pop. Then the recorder clicks to rewind on its own, tape screaming backward. When it stops, a new voice, mine, plays from the speaker. 3, Adam, 12, entering Unit 2B, time 052. Except I haven't said that yet. The timestamp on my dash cam reads 51 minutes and 47 seconds. 13 seconds in the future, and my own voice just announced entry. I draw my sidearm, though protocol screams not to for a welfare check. The living room mirror above the soot-stained fireplace reflects the room behind me. Except the tricycle wheel is spinning now, slow, like a lazy ceiling fan. I turn. The real tricycle sits fused and motionless. In the mirror, a small hand reaches from the hallway shadows and pushes the wheel faster. My reflection doesn't move when I do. I watched my glass self holster the gun I'm still holding, watched it turn away from the mirror toward the bedroom door I haven't opened yet. The crying starts again, but it's coming from inside my vest pocket. I rip open the flap. My body cam, dead since roll call, blinks red. On its tiny screen, live feed of me standing in this exact spot, gun still out, but the timestamp reads 0:53 tomorrow night. The crying child's face fills the frame, pressed against the lens from inside the camera, whispering, "You left the door open, Officer Reed." I stumble backward, boot heel catching on the melted carpet. The front door slams shut on its own. The chain lock slides home with a metallic snick that echoes like handcuffs. My radio erupts, not dispatch, but that same child's voice, clear as the rain outside. Subject is a white male, approximately 35, armed. Last seen entering 2B. Approach with caution. He won't remember tomorrow. My own call sign follows, spoken in my voice, reporting shots fired. The apartment lights, long dead, flicker on, fluorescent tubes buzzing like hornets. Every bulb reveals the same thing. Wet child-sized footprints leading from the bedroom to the spot where I stand, stopping an inch from my boots. The prints steam, then vanish, leaving only the smell of ozone and candle wax. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. They're just echoes looking for a throat to crawl out of. I holster the gun my reflection already put away, because fighting the future feels like arresting smoke. The cassette recorder clicks again. This time it records live. The soft drip of rain through the broken window, my breathing, the creak of floorboards under weight that isn't mine. When I lean close, the tape captures a second set of lungs inhaling right behind my ear. I spin, nothing. But the mirror shows the child now, standing directly at my back, head tilted, soot smeared across his cheeks like war paint. His mouth moves, but no sound comes out. The reflection me raises a hand in greeting. The real me doesn't. The radio squawks one last time before I twist the knob to OFF. All units, be advised, Officer Reed is 10 to 7 out of service effective immediately. Repeat, 10 to 7. Out of service. End of shift. But my watch reads 0:52, and the shift only started 4 hours ago. I back toward the door, palm the knob, locked. The chain rattles though no hand touches it. Somewhere in the static between channels, I swear I hear Timothy Hale's mother calling him in for cake, the same recording that played the night she died. The footprints reappear, fresh, leading not away but toward me, each print filling with dark water that wasn't there a heartbeat ago. I draw a shallow breath that tastes like burnt sugar and gun oil, and I realize the welfare check was never for the crying child. It was for me. The hallway outside 2B is colder than the inside of a freezer, the kind of cold that crawls under the collar and licks the spine. My cruiser keys are in my hand, but the apartment door refuses to open. The chain just rattles like it's laughing. I shoulder it once, solid. Procedure says wait for backup, but backup was just declared 10 to 7 on my own radio. So I do the only thing left. I follow the wet footprints backward, away from the locked door, deeper into Oak Ridge. They glow faintly, like someone spilled glow stick juice, leading me past 2C, 2D, all the way to the stairwell at the far end. The prints stop at the threshold, then reappear on the first step down, heading to the basement laundry nobody uses anymore. I've got no warrant, No probable cause, just the certainty that if I stay in 2B, I'll be the next file in the basement. My boots leave no prints of their own. The concrete drinks the water off them like it's thirsty. The stairwell smells of mildew and industrial detergent, the kind that never quite masks blood. My flashlight picks out graffiti layered like archaeological strata, gang tags from the 90s, a faded missing poster for Timothy Hale, and fresh sharp as scrawled last week. Reed was here, the letters still wet. I never carry Sharpie. Halfway down, the bulb pops, showering sparks that die before they hit the steps. Darkness folds in, thick enough to chew. I thumb the radio out of habit. Dead air, then a soft click, like someone on the other end just keyed a mic they don't have. 3 Adam, 12 status? It's Sergeant Mallory, but Mallory retired in 2001 after the mill fire. I know because I attended the ceremony. His voice is younger, though, the way it sounded on the academy range when he taught me to breathe before I squeezed. En route to basement, investigating. I start, but the radio answers itself in Mallory's cadence. Negative, Reed. Return to patrol. That laundry room's been condemned since '87, the year of the apartment fire. I keep descending. The footprints pulse brighter with every step, leading me past the last landing to a steel door marked laundry. Authorized personnel only. The lock is a hasp and padlock, rusted solid, but the hasp swings open like it's oiled. Inside, the room is bigger than the building's footprint allows. Rows of ancient washers and dryers, all gutted, copper wiring stripped like veins. In the center, a single crime scene tent, yellow tape in a perfect square, the kind we use for bodies. The tape reads police line, "Do not cross." June 14th, 1987. Today is November 13th, 2025. My beam catches a figure crouched inside the tape. Back to me, folding tiny clothes into a plastic evidence bag. Uniform blues, same as mine, but the fabric is sun-bleached, the duty belt cracked leather. The figure turns. It's me. Older, eyes sunken, a streak of gray at the temples I don't have yet. The nameplate reads Reed, but the badge number is mine plus 1 digit. He doesn't speak. He just points to the dryer in the corner. The door hangs open, and inside is a child's sneaker, size 11, soot-stained, laces still tied in perfect bows. I know that shoe. It's in the Hale file, Exhibit 3B, log the night Timothy vanished. Except the evidence log says it was never recovered. I step over the tape, protocol be damned, and the room tilts. The floor becomes the ceiling of the apartment above, 2B, but I'm still in the basement. Gravity flips again, and I'm standing on the scorched carpet where the tricycle melted. The older Reed is gone, but his voice drifts from the dryer like it's a speaker. You left the door open, kid. The sneaker is in my hand now, warm, pulsing like a heartbeat. I don't remember picking it up. On the sole, someone carved initials with a knife, JR plus TH. My initials, Timothy's. The carving is fresh, the rubber curls like orange peel. The dryers start spinning on their own, empty drums thumping like distant artillery. Each revolution spits out a Polaroid that flutters to the floor. I gather them, hands shaking. First photo, me at the academy graduation, 2015, smiling like an idiot. Second, me in this exact basement, same angle, but the date stamp reads June 14th, 1987, and I'm holding the sneaker up to the camera, mouthing gotcha. Third photo, the mirror from 2B, but the reflection shows the child standing behind me, hand on my shoulder. The real me in the photo is looking straight at the lens, smiling the same idiot smile, oblivious. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. They're just loops we keep stepping into, badge first. The tape around the crime scene square begins to tighten, shrinking, pulling the evidence bag with the tiny clothes toward the center. I drop the sneaker. It lands inside the tape, right where the older Reed was crouching. The bag seals itself with red evidence tape that wasn't there before. My radio crackles again. Mallory's voice now layered with static and something wet underneath. Read. You're relieved. Clock out. But I'm still on shift. My watch says 1:14, same minute it was when I left the cruiser. Time's stuck, or I am. I back toward the steel door. It's locked now, the hasp snapped shut. The dryers stop one by one until only the corner unit spins. Faster, screaming metal on metal. The sneaker rises out of it, hovering, laces trailing like kite strings. It drifts toward me, stops inches from my chest. The tongue flips down, revealing a microcassette taped inside, the same model from 2B. I peel it free. Label in faded ink. Read, final transmission. I don't own a micro-recorder. My fingers pop it into the ancient player on the evidence table. My voice, hoarse, exhausted. To anyone still on frequency, the kid's not missing. He's waiting. Don't open the static eats the rest. The room lights flicker on, harsh, surgical. Every washer door yawns open. Inside each, a perfect reflection of this basement. But the timestamp on the evidence tint keeps changing, cycling backward. 2024, 2010, 1995, 1987, until it settles on tomorrow's date. In that reflection, I see myself enter through the steel door I'm leaning against, gun drawn, calling out for Timothy. The reflection me doesn't see the child slip behind him, doesn't see the sneaker drop from the ceiling onto his shoulder like a parrot. The reflection me raises the gun to his own temple, whispering, "Case closed." I rip the cassette out, crush it under my boot. The reflections vanish. The dryers go dark. The only light is my flashlight, now dimming like a dying star. The steel door behind me creaks open on its own, revealing the stairwell up. The wet footprints are gone, but the sneaker sits neatly on the bottom step, laces tied, waiting to be worn. I leave it. Some evidence you don't bag. As I climb, the building groans like it's waking up. On the second floor landing, the mirror from 2B is now mounted on the wall outside the apartments, spiderwebbed but intact. My reflection walks 3 steps ahead of me, heading for the exit before I do. It pauses, turns, and mouths a single word I can't hear. Then it steps through the glass and is gone. The real me reaches the cruiser at 1:14 exactly. The rain has stopped, but the windshield is covered in child-sized handprints, steaming from the inside out. My dash cam blinks awake on its own. Playback, me entering the building at 0:52, exiting now, but the timestamp loops, 1:14, 1:14, 1:14. Like a scratched record. I slide behind the wheel. The burrito is still warm. The citation book is open to a fresh ticket, already filled out. Officer J. Reed, citation for abandoning post, date June 14th, 1987. The signature at the bottom is mine, but the ink is still wet. I drive with the windows down, letting the cold slap me awake. But the air tastes like the inside of an evidence locker, paper dust, and old blood. The citation flutters on the dash like a trapped moth. I should log it, file it, laugh it off as a prank from day shift. Instead, I steer toward the precinct, because the basement there is the only place left that might still have answers. The streets are empty except for one stray cat that watches me from a storm drain, eyes reflecting my headlights back green and wrong. My radio stays off. I can't risk hearing myself give tomorrow's orders again. The precinct squats under sodium lights that buzz like dying insects. Roll call room is dark, vending machine humming its lonely tune. I badge through the side door. Keycard reader beeps 1:14, same frozen minute. The bullpen smells of burnt coffee and bleach. My desk is exactly as I left it. Half-finished incident report, photo of my sister pinned to the corkboard, a sticky note that now reads "Find Timothy" in my own handwriting. I don't remember writing it. The sticky is dated tomorrow. Elevator to the basement records room is out of order. Yellow tape across the doors like it's been that way for years. Stairs it is. The stairwell here is narrower, painted that institutional puke green that hides sins. My boots echo too loud, each step answering from below a half-beat early, like someone's walking up as I walk down. Halfway, the overhead bulb flickers Morse again, short, long, short, then dies. Darkness swallows me, but the echo keeps descending. I flick on my flashlight. The beam lands on a fresh boot print in the dust, size 10, regulation tread, pointing down. My size. But I'm still wearing the same boots, and the dust behind me is undisturbed. The records room door is propped open with a rubber doorstop shaped like a tiny handcuff, gag gift from last Christmas party. Inside, the air is colder than outside, breath fogging. Rows of metal shelves stretch into shadow, each labeled with faded Dymo tape. Homicide 1970 to 79, Vice 1980 to 89, Missing Persons 1990 to 99. The fluorescent tubes hum, then click on one by one, like they're rolling out a red carpet. They stop at the far end, illuminating a single banker's box on the floor. Lit off. Files fan like playing cards. I crouch. Top folder. Hail, Timothy J. DOB, April 11th, 1979. MPD case hashtag 87-0614. Open and shut, or should have been. Inside, the original incident report, signed by Sergeant Mallory, ink still crisp. But the narrative is wrong. It describes me, Officer J. Reed, badge 472, arriving on scene at 2347, finding the mother unconscious, the child gone. I wasn't born until 1990. The photo clip to the report shows me kneeling beside the melted tricycle, younger, clean-shaven, eyes wide like this is my first fire. The timestamp burned into the corner, June 14th, 1987, 23:52. I flip pages. Witness statements from neighbors who swear they saw me carry the boy out wrapped in a blanket, load him into a cruiser that doesn't exist yet. Unit 3, Adam. 12, my call sign. One statement, handwritten. Officer Reed told us the kid was asleep, not to worry. But I heard crying from the trunk. My stomach knots. Next page. My own supplemental report, dated today, describing the welfare check at Oak Ridge, the cassette, the mirror. Word for word what I lived an hour ago. The signature at the bottom is mine, but the pen pressure is heavier, like I was pressing down to keep the hand from shaking. The box isn't done with me. Another file slides forward on its own. Reed, Jacob M. DOB March 22nd, 1990, status. Missing, presumed deceased. My personnel file, but thicker. Inside, my academy application, my psych eval, my sister's photo. Then pages I've never seen. A termination notice dated 3 days from now, signed by Chief Harlan, citing dereliction of duty and psychological collapse. Attached, a missing person poster with my face. Last seen leaving precinct basement at 1:14, vehicle recovered at Oak Ridge Apartments. The poster is already yellowed, edges curled. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. They're just paperwork waiting for the right signature. The shelves start breathing, metal expanding and contracting like lungs. A low rumble rolls through the floor, and the banker's box tips, spilling more files. They land open to a spread of Polaroids, same as the laundry room. Me aging backward, academy graduation, first patrol, prom night I never told anyone I skipped. Each photo stamped with tomorrow's date. The last one is blank, glossy white, but when I tilt it, an image blooms like developing film. Me in this records room, gun in mouth, flash illuminating the shelves. The timestamp, 1:14. Behind me, the rubber handcuff doorstop squeaks. I spin. The door is closed now, but the squeak keeps going, rhythmic, like someone dragging a body across tile. My flashlight dims, then flares bright enough to burn after images. In that flash, I see every shelf is empty except for one file sliding toward me on its own, spine cracked open. It's the Hale file again, but the pages are blank now except for a single line in red ink that appears as I watch. You can still save him, but not you. The lights cut out. Total dark. My pulse is the only sound until paper rustles, close, intimate, like someone turning pages beside my ear. A child's whisper, warm against my cheek. Officer Reed, the bad man's coming. Timothy's voice, but older, stretched. I swing the flashlight. The beam catches a reflection in the black glass of a filing cabinet. Me, but my eyes are milk white, mouth sewn shut with red evidence tape. The reflection raises a hand, presses it to the glass from inside. The real glass is cold, solid, but I feel the pressure on my palm. I backpedal, trip over the banker's box. Files avalanche. When I scramble up, the room has changed. The shelves are gone. I'm in a perfect replica of the Oak Ridge laundry room, but the dryers are filing cabinets, doors yawning. Each drawer labeled with a year. 1987 drawer is open. Inside, the sneaker, still warm. 2025 drawer, my duty belt, holster empty, blood on the leather. I slam it shut. The whisper again, from inside the cabinet. Pick a year, any year. You always do. My radio, still clipped to my belt though I turned it off, crackles alive. Not dispatch, my own voice, recorded, looping. Records room secure, no sign of Hale. Returning to patrol. The timestamp on the transmission, 1:15. 1 minute from now. I rip the radio free, smash it against the concrete. Plastic shards. But the voice keeps coming. Now from the sneaker, from the empty holster, from the dark itself. Returning to patrol. Returning to patrol. I run. The door is back, rubber handcuffs still in place. I kick it open, stumble into the stairwell. The boot prints are here too, but climbing now, toward the bullpen. I follow because down is where the files live. Each landing, the prints get fresher, wetter, until the last step squelches under my sole. I look down. My boot is leaving the print, but I'm still mid-step. The print fills with dark water, overflows, runs up the riser like reverse rain. Bullpen is lit by emergency strips, red glow like a darkroom. Every desk has a file open. Every file is mine. Termination, missing person, psychiatric hold. The sticky note on my monitor now reads save him or join him in block letters. The precinct clock is stuck at 1:14. I hear the elevator ding. Impossible. It's been broken for years. Doors slide open. Inside, the older Reed from the laundry room, uniform shredded, badge tarnished. He steps out, leaves no footprints. In his hand, the microcassette labeled Reed, final transmission. He offers it. I don't take it. He speaks, voice layered with every version of me that ever existed. Close the loop, kid. 1 bullet, 2 souls. His eyes are the milk white from the reflection. Behind him, the elevator cables groan, descending into a shaft that shouldn't be deep enough. The car is full of filing boxes, all labeled Hale/Reed. The doors start to close. Older me steps back inside, presses the cassette into my palm anyway. It's warm, pulsing. The door's shut. The elevator drops, but the floor counter never moves from B. I'm alone with the red glow and the ticking clock. The cassette is recording now, red light blinking. I raise it to my lips without meaning to. My voice, not mine. To anyone still on frequency, the kid's not missing. He's the file. Don't open. The light blinks off. The cassette is blank, warm as skin. I think I understand now. The welfare check wasn't for Timothy. It wasn't for me. It was for the story itself, the one that keeps writing us into the margins. I burst out the precinct's side door into a fog so thick it feels like breathing wet wool. The cruiser is where I left it, but the handprints on the windshield have multiplied, overlapping like kids fighting for space on a school bus window. My duty belt is lighter, sidearm gone. I don't remember holstering it, don't remember losing it. The citation ticket is still on the dash, but the ink has bled into a Rorschach blot that looks like a child waving goodbye. 1:14 still. The clock on the bank across the street agrees. Time's a broken record, and I'm the needle. Radio silence is worse than static. I thumb the mic anyway. Dispatch, 3 Adam. 12, code 10 to 33. Officer needs assistance. Nothing. Not even carrier tone. Just the soft click of an open channel no one's monitoring. Then, faint. A child's giggle, like someone left a baby monitor on in an empty room. I kill the engine, step into the street. The fog swallows sound. My boots don't echo. Somewhere a siren dopplers, then cuts off mid-wail, as if the city itself swallowed it. A silhouette flickers at the edge of my flashlight, tall, thin, running. Hood up, hands cuffed behind the back. Suspect. I give chase on instinct, voice cracking the quiet. Police. Stop. The figure doesn't slow, just angles down MLK toward the riverfront warehouses. My lungs burn with cold, but the fog parts for the runner like it's on payroll. I follow the gap, boots splashing through puddles that reflect street lamps that aren't above me anymore. The silhouette rounds a corner into the old textile mill lot. Chain link fence peeled back like a tin can. I duck through. Gravel crunches underfoot, each stone sounding like a spent shell casing. The suspect stops dead center under a single working floodlight. Hands still cuffed, but the cuffs are mine. Department issue, serial 472-19, the pair I lost during a foot pursuit last summer. The figure turns. No face under the hood, just darkness shaped like a scream. It raises the cuffed hands, palms open. An invitation. I draw my backup piece from the ankle holster. Protocol says never chase unarmed, but protocol's been laughing at me all night. The suspect bolts again, toward the mill's loading dock. I follow, vault the rail, land on cracked concrete that smells of diesel and wet cardboard. Inside, the mill is a cathedral of rust and moonlight. Broken skylights paint silver bars across conveyor belts frozen mid-collapse. The suspect's footsteps echo, mine don't. I track the sound past looms the size of trucks, threads still dangling like nooses. My flashlight dies. I smack it, nothing. Darkness is absolute until the suspect's cuffs glint, catching a light source that isn't there. The glint leads me to a freight elevator shaft, doors pried open. The car is gone, cables swaying like hanged men. The suspect stands at the edge, back to me, then steps into empty air and doesn't fall. Just hangs there, 10 feet down, cuffs now in front, key dangling from the lock. My key. I lean over. The shaft smells of river water and something coppery. Below, the elevator car sits 3 floors down, doors open, interior light flickering. Inside, a perfect circle of evidence markers, yellow numbers 1 through 12 like a clock face. At 12, the sneaker. At 3, my duty belt. At 6, the microcassette. At 9, a child's handprint in what looks like blood but smells like birthday cake. The suspect floats downward, slow, until boots touch the car roof. It turns, hood falling back. My face, but the eyes are Timothy's, wide, scared, 8 years old forever. It speaks with my voice, older. You're late, Officer Reed. Shift started 3 nights ago. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. They're just pursuits where the finish line handcuffs itself to you. The elevator cables groan. The car begins to rise on its own. No motor sound, just metal singing. I back away, but the shaft doors slam shut behind me, sealing with a hiss like an evidence bag. The only light is the suspect's cuffs, glowing now, casting my shadow on the wall. Except the shadow has no cuffs, no gun, and it's walking away from me toward a door that opens onto the precinct bullpen. The shadow steps through. The door vanishes. I'm alone with the rising elevator. It stops level with the floor. Doors yawn. The evidence clock is real now, laid out on the mill floor where the car should be. The numbers are burned into the concrete, still smoking. The sneaker sits at 12, laces tied in perfect bows. I kneel. Inside the left shoe, a Polaroid, me cuffing the suspect, myself. Against the cruiser, timestamp 1:14 tomorrow. My reflection in the cruiser window is smiling, but the real me isn't. The right shoe holds the key to the cuffs, teeth filed down to nubs. Useless. A soft clink behind me. The suspect is free, cuffs dangling from one wrist like a bracelet. No. I walk backward, away from me, each step perfectly reversed footage. I raise the backup piece. Stop. The word comes out muffled, like I'm underwater. The suspect keeps retreating, passing through a stack of pallets that should block the path. On the other side, the fog waits, shaped like Oak Ridge apartments. The suspect enters the fog, and the building swallows it whole. The cuffs drop to the ground, empty, lock snapped open by nothing. I approach the cuffs. They're warm, pulsing. The serial number is mine, but the metal is pitted like decades in river water. Inside one ring, etched in tiny letters, property of T. Hale. I snap them onto my own wrists before I can think. Click. They fit perfect. The key in the shoe disintegrates to rust the instant I touch it. The elevator doors close, descend, vanish. The mill is silent except for my breathing and the soft, wet sound of fog licking the walls. My radio, smashed back in the records room, crackles from my belt. Impossible. 3. Adam. 12. Suspect in custody, en route to precinct. My voice, calm, routine. The cruiser's engine turns over outside, headlights cutting twin tunnels through the fog. I walk toward the light, cuffs clinking. The driver's door is open. The seatbelt buckles itself across empty air. The rearview mirror shows the back seat. Me, cuffed, head down, Timothy's eyes staring back. The cruiser pulls away without me touching the wheel. I follow on foot, because that's what you do when you're both cop and collar. The mill lot stretches, becomes MLK again, then the precinct parking lot. The cruiser noses into my assigned space, engine ticking as it cools. The back door opens. The cuff me steps out, walks backward into the precinct side door. I follow the footprints. Mine, but leaving no heat. Inside, the bullpen is empty, desks cleared, sticky notes gone. The elevator dings. Doors open to the basement. The cuff me steps in, presses B. I step in after. Doors close. The descent takes forever and no time. When the doors open, it's the Oak Ridge laundry room again, but the dryers are now interrogation chairs, one occupied by the child version of me, 8 years old, soot on cheeks. The older me, cuffed, sits opposite, reading writes from a card that's blank. The child signs the card with a crayon. The elevator doors close behind me, sealing. The room has no exit. The child looks up. You're it, Officer Reed. Tag, you're it. The cuffs on my wrists tighten, metal biting skin. The older me stands, walks through the wall into the fog. The child follows, leaving the sneaker behind. I'm alone with the chairs, the evidence clock burned into the floor, numbers ticking backward. 1:13, 1:12. The cuffs are warm now, almost hot. I raise them to the light that isn't there. Inside the left ring, new etching appears, letter by letter. Save him. The room tilts. I'm back in the mill, fog gone, dawn trying to crawl through broken skylights, but failing. The cuffs are gone. My wrists are raw, circled in rust bruises shaped like tiny handprints. The cruiser idles outside, driver door open, radio playing my own voice on loop. Suspect in custody, suspect in custody. I slide behind the wheel. The rear view shows the back seat empty. but the child's safety lock is engaged. The precinct is 3 blocks away, but the odometer rolls backward with every turn of the wheel. I think I'm the suspect now, and the chase never ends. The cruiser rolls itself into the precinct lot at 1:13, though every clock in the city still insists on 1:14. The engine dies with a cough that sounds like my name. I step out. The asphalt is soft, like walking on a tongue. The side door yawns open before I touch it, exhaling warm air that smells of copier toner and the cinnamon gum Sergeant Mallory chewed the year he retired. The bullpen is stripped bare, no desks, no corkboards, just a single red exit sign bleeding light onto the tile. It points to the stairwell I've descended 3 times tonight, each trip shaving another layer off what I thought was real. I follow because the alternative is standing still while the walls breathe. The stairwell is narrower now, the handrail sticky with something that glows faintly under black light. My raw wrists leave smears when I grip it, rust and skin. The steps descend in a perfect spiral, but every 7th riser is missing, replaced by a void that reflects the red exit glow like fresh blood. I count landings anyway. 1, 2, 3. At 4 the numbers stop matching. The air thickens, tasting of river silt and candle smoke. My boots find the same blood-stained print on every landing. Regulation tread, size 10, heel dragging like the walker's exhausted. The print is always 1 step ahead, wet, steaming, then gone the instant my soul covers it. At what should be the basement, the stairwell opens onto a rooftop instead. Oak Ridge Apartments, 2 BS-scorched living room recreated under open sky. The tricycle sits in the center, while spinning slow, throwing sparks that die before they land. Fog pools knee-high, swirling around evidence markers hammered into the tar paper. Yellow numbers again, 1 through 12, but the clock hands are the melted tricycle spokes, ticking backward. The mirror from 2B leans against the roof access door, cracked down the middle like a lightning bolt. My reflection is already inside, gun to temple, finger squeezing. The real me hasn't drawn yet. I step over the fog. Each marker triggers a memory that isn't mine. 1 o'clock, Timothy's 8th birthday, cake uneaten, mother lighting candles that won't stay lit. 3 o'clock, me at 8, same cake, same candles, same mother who isn't my mother. 6 o'clock, the fire, but I'm holding the match. 9 o'clock, Mallory cuffing me in the academy parking lot, whispering, "Some doors you don't open, kid." The bloodstained boot print appears on the mirror glass, climbing vertically toward the crack. The reflection me lowers the gun, turns, mouths, up. The rooftop door behind the mirror swings inward, revealing stairs that ascend into starless dark. The print leads up. I follow because down is the clock, and the clock is eating itself. The stairs are the precinct stairwell again, but inverted. Risers above, treads below, like an M.C. Escher print drawn by a child. Gravity flips with each step. I climb down to go up, boots sticking to the ceiling that's now the floor. The blood print stays 1 pace ahead, always dripping upward. Halfway, the walls turn to filing cabinets, drawers sliding open as I pass. Each contains a single object. My academy diploma, ink running. The sneaker, now adult size 10. The microcassette, cracked, tape spooling like intestines. The final drawer is empty except for a live round, my backup piece's last bullet, casing etched read in microscopic letters. I palm it. The drawer slams shut, severs the tip of my glove. No pain, no blood, just the print moving faster now, frantic. The stairs end at a door marked roof access, authorized personnel only. The sign is new, plastic still shiny. I push through. I'm back on the Oak Ridge rooftop, but the tricycle is gone. In its place, an interrogation table, 2 chairs. The child me sits in one, soot-streaked, wrists cuffed with my own cuffs. The older me, milk-white eyes, sewn mouth, sits opposite, holding the backup piece. The bullet I just palmed is already in the chamber. The table is the evidence clock. Numbers burn deeper, hands at 112. The mirror stands behind them, showing the stairwell door I just exited, but the print is climbing out of the glass now, three-dimensional, dripping. The child me looks up. "You're late again, officer." His voice is mine at 8, but the words are Mallory's retirement speech. The older me nods, raises the gun toward the child. I step between them. The barrel presses cold against my sternum. The older me's sewn lips part. Red evidence tape peels away like skin. Underneath, Timothy's mouth, smiling. Close the loop. It whispers, breath 1987 and 2025 braided together. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. They're just stairs that only go up until you're walking on the sky you fell from. The rooftop tilts. The fog rises, becomes the precinct basement, becomes the mill elevator shaft, becomes 2BS scorched carpet. All at once, layered like transparencies. The blood print is everywhere now, a trail that loops back into itself. I follow it because stopping means becoming the print. It leads to the mirror. The reflection me is uncuffed, gun holstered, walking away. The real me is cuffed to the table, child me and older me, fused into one shape that keeps shifting age. The mirror glass ripples like water. The print steps onto the surface, sinks, pulls me after. I fall through, land on the precinct stairwell landing, ground floor. The exit sign above the lobby door glows green now, steady. The blood print stops here, pools, forms letters, save him. The cuffs on my wrists are gone, but the bruises remain, shaped like tiny fingers interlaced. My backup piece is back in the ankle holster, one round missing. The bullet is in my pocket, warm, heavier than lead. The lobby clock reads 1:13. The second hand jerks backward, then forward, then stops. The front doors are locked. Always are after midnight, but the key on my ring turns smooth. Outside, the cruiser waits, engine idling. The rear view shows the back seat. Empty, but the child's safety lock clicks engaged. I slide behind the wheel. The radio crackles once, my voice, calm. 3 Adam, 12, returning to Oak Ridge for follow-up. Time 1:14. The transmission is live. I haven't spoken yet. I drive. The blood print appears on the windshield, climbing from hood to roof, leaving no smear. At every intersection, the lights cycle red to green without me slowing. The print reaches the rear window, presses a child's palm, then fades. The odometer rolls forward now, real miles, real time. Oak Ridge rises ahead, neon A and K still dead. I park in the same spot. The handprints on the windshield are gone. The citation ticket is blank. I step out. The stairwell to 2B waits, door propped open with a rubber handcuff. The blood print starts fresh on the first step, climbing. I follow. Each landing, the print is mine, but the stride is shorter, child gait. At the top, 2BS door is open 3 inches, chain dangling. Inside, the tricycle spins, the cassette plays my future entry. The mirror shows me entering behind me, gun drawn, calling for Timothy. The reflection me doesn't see the child slip the cuffs onto his own wrists. I holster the backup piece. The bullet in my pocket pulses once, like a heartbeat. I step over the threshold. The door closes. The chain slides home. The cassette clicks to rewind, then play. My voice, live, 3, Adam, 12, entering Unit 2B, time 1:14. The mirror shows the loop completing. Reflection me turning, seeing the child, raising the gun, not at the child, at himself. The real me stands still, wrists already bruised. The rooftop, the basement, the mill, the stairs, all collapse into this room. The evidence clock burns on the floor, hands at 1:13. The child me stands in the center, holding the bullet. Your turn to save him, he says, and offers it. I take it. The cassette records the soft click as I load the chamber. The mirror shows the older me nodding approval. The fog seeps under the door, carrying the faint smell of birthday cake and gun oil. I raise the gun, not to my temple, but to the cassette player. One shot. The tape explodes in plastic shrapnel. The loop stutters, skips, rewinds to silence. The blood print fades from the floor. The tricycle stops. The mirror cracks wider, showing only the room, only me, only now. I think some crimes end when you stop chasing the echo. The door unlocks itself. The chain falls. I step into the hallway. The stairwell is just a stairwell. The cruiser waits below, engine off, clocks finally moving. 1:15. I leave the bullet on the welcome mat. Some evidence you don't carry. I drive with the windows up for the first time tonight. The cruiser's heater coughing warm air that smells faintly of pine cleaner and the ghost of someone else's cigarettes. The streets are ordinary now. Potholes, a stray shopping cart, the 24-hour diner's neon open sign flickering like it's on its last breath. My dash clock reads 1:17 and keeps climbing. Real seconds, not the frozen minute that tried to swallow me. The radio is off, but I keep glancing at it anyway, half expecting my own voice to announce the end of shift 3 nights early. Nothing. Just the soft tick of cooling metal and the low thrum of tires on wet asphalt. I pull into the precinct lot at 1:29. The building looks smaller under the sodium lights, almost shy, as if it's embarrassed by what it let happen in its basement. My space is empty. No cruiser idling with phantom suspects in the back seat. I kill the engine, sit for a count of 10, listening to the silence settle. No whispers, no wet footprints, no cassette hiss. Only the faint drip of condensation from the roof onto the hood. Plink, 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 like a metronome reminding me I'm still in rhythm with the world. Inside, the night desk sergeant, Ramirez, real Ramirez, not a 1987 echo, looks up from his crossword. Read. Thought you were 10-7. His voice is hoarse from too many graveyard shifts, but it's alive, present. I badged the logbook. 1:31. End of tour. The pen works. The ink is blue and ordinary. Ramirez stamps it without comment, slides me a styrofoam cup of coffee that doesn't taste like candle wax. I drink it black, let it scald the lingering taste of fog from my tongue. The bullpen is half lit. A couple of uniforms typing reports, the vending machine humming its same lonely tune. My desk is exactly as I left it before the welfare call. Incident report half finished, sister's photo smiling, sticky note now blank. I tear it off, crumple it, toss it in the trash. The wastebasket is empty except for one crumpled citation. Mine, but the ink is dry, the date today's, the violation box checked, equipment malfunction, dash cam. Someone's idea of a joke or a cover. I let it go. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. They're just doors you finally learn to walk past. I head for the locker room. The corridor smells of bleach and sweat, fluorescent tubes buzzing steady. My locker opens with the same combination it's had since Academy. March 22nd, 90, my birthday. Inside, spare uniform, gym shoes, a sealed evidence bag I don't remember logging. Red tape, my handwriting. Hail/read, do not open. The bag is light, almost weightless. I carry it to the property room, badge the sergeant on duty, Nguyen, Rayon Nguyen, yawning into her sleeve. She logs it without looking inside, drops it into the return bin. The bin is dated for destruction, November 13th, 2026. 1 year. I sign the chain of custody form. My hand doesn't shake. Back in the locker room, I strip out of the duty shirt. The rust bruises on my wrists have faded to faint pink circles like old vaccination scars. I splash cold water on my face, watch it swirl down the drain with a few grains of soot I didn't notice before. The mirror shows only me, tired eyes, regulation haircut, A small cut on my cheek I don't remember getting. No milk-white stare, no sewn mouth. I dry off with paper towels that don't turn into evidence tape. 2:03. I clock out for real. The night air outside is sharp, clean, carrying the distant scent of the river and someone frying onions at the diner. My personal truck is where I parked it 12 hours ago, frost just starting to feather the windshield. I scrape it with the side of my hand, climb in, let the engine warm. The radio, civilian, AM/FM, plays a late-night jazz program, saxophone soft and lonely. No static, no child's giggle, no loop transmission. I leave it on. I drive home slow, past Oak Ridge Apartments. The neon A and K are still dead, but a work crew is up on a cherry picker, replacing bulbs. One flickers, then holds steady. The building looks smaller too, just another tired stack of bricks waiting for demolition or renovation, whichever bid wins. I don't slow down. My apartment is on the third floor of a converted textile mill. Ironic, but the rent's cheap. The key sticks in the lock the way it always does. Inside, the radiator clanks, the fridge hums, the goldfish my sister left me circles his bowl like nothing happened. I feed him, watch the flakes disappear. The answering machine blinks once. Mom checking in, her voice warm and ordinary. I save the message. I sit on the couch with a beer I don't open. The silence is huge, but it's mine. No fog seeping under the door, no boot prints climbing the walls. Just the tick of the wall clock, 2:47 now, and the soft pop of the radiator. I close my eyes. The dark behind my lids is black, not red, not evidence yellow. I breathe in, breathe out. The air tastes like pine cleaner, and tomorrow. Somewhere in the city, a radio squawks. I don't flinch. Somewhere, a cassette spins in a sealed bag, waiting for a year to burn. I don't itch to open it. Somewhere, a child's sneaker sits in an evidence locker, laces still tied in perfect bows. I don't need to see it again. I think some nights, and not with dawn, but with the quiet click of a door you finally stop trying to open. The jazz on the radio fades to station ID, then a weather report. Clear skies, cold front moving out. I stand, stretch, set the unopened beer in the fridge. The couch is lumpy, familiar. I lie down fully clothed, boots off, badge on the coffee table glinting under the streetlight that leaks through the blinds. Sleep hovers, heavy and real. Just before it takes me, the precinct scanner on the shelf. Habit, I never turn it off, crackles once. A single transmission, soft, almost lost under the jazz. 3 Adam 12. 10-98, shift complete. My voice, but calm, final, no echo. The scanner clicks off on its own. The room settles into the small sounds of a building at rest. Pipes, refrigerator, goldfish filter. I let the darkness come. The fog lifts sometime before sunrise, thinning to silver mist that clings to the river like a secret finally ready to dissolve. Inside the precinct, the evidence return bin sits under fluorescent hum, the sealed bag unmarked except for a date 1 year out. The cassette inside is warm for a moment, then cools to room temperature, tape slack, unplayed. In the basement, the banker's boxes realign themselves on the shelves, labels crisp, dust undisturbed. The bloodstained boot print on the stairwell tile dries to a faint rust shadow, then flakes away under the janitor's mop at 5 o'clock. Ramirez again, humming Sinatra off-key. Across town, my cruiser sits in the impound yard, dash cam wiped clean by day shift IT, citation logged as resolved, equipment error. The sneaker and property is logged out for DNA retest, but the tech finds only synthetic fibers and a child's footprint too small to match any database. The file closes with a yellow post-it, case inactive, and no further leads. At 6:12, the sun breaches the skyline, painting the mill rooftops gold. The diner opens, the smell of